Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live, coming at you live, coming at you live. Look here, I'm going to move all of the good stuff out of the way, and I'm going to get right on it. Look here, man, I was sitting around doing what I do. I was praying, and I was meditating before the show. The young man that you see right here before me, man, he had did a post on Facebook and I saw it and it touched my heart because even if I got stuff going on, but I wasn't really aware. I wasn't really aware. And that's the thing. That's what the post is about, awareness.
Right.
I wasn't aware that this month, this month is Suicide Awareness Month. Isn't that crazy that we got to have a month to be aware of something? Man, I'm gonna tell you, when I saw it, I had to reach out. I immediately reached out because my spirit, it hit my spirit. Um, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shut up. So as y'all know what this show is about. This show tonight is the realness. This is the truth. This is about bringing it. This is about bringing it. I don't know how long he's gonna be able to be here, but guess what, man? I'm finna shut my old mouth, and man, you have your way. I thank you for that post. I thank you for it because I'm gonna tell you, it touched me.
Oh man, blessings, man, blessings. Yeah, I honestly felt moved to do it. Usually I don't speak out on a lot of people's situations and stuff like that, but I was actually a fan of the young lady, who unfortunately went through that situation. She was like a motivational speaker, fitness person, and things like that. So when I read it, it didn't make any sense because she speaks so much life into a lot of other individuals. So I was just like, no, like, I thought that it was like a typo or some type of, prank or, just fake news. But honestly, it made me think, I was around one of those people, I grew up around those people who believe that, you got to check on your strong friends. So
Right.
it makes a lot of sense, in the sense to where if people feel so, um, heavy from what they have and what other people around them are feeding into them. We have to constantly pour into other people as well because I think that we're just
Okay. I lost it for a second. Um, whenever he gets, okay, there you go.
sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, I just think that in the society right now, we're learning to just continue to take and try to see what we can get out of people, and we don't take that moments to just be human beings. I think just we're humans doing. You know, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff, trying to stay busy, trying to accelerate, trying to reach different heights, trying to reach all of these goals, but we're not taking the time to reflect and give ourselves and our minds, the time to adjust because this is a microwave era that we live in. I just think that everything right now is so quick and we're comparing and we doing all of these things that just, it's a combination for disaster and depression.
Man, it's so true. And as I told you, man, I read about the guy. He got
Yeah,
all this money, killed himself,
right.
jumped off a building. If we don't realize how real it is,
Absolutely.
how people are going through, and the craziest part is even the young lady that you're talking about, people are going through in silence.
Right. Absolutely. So,
People are going through in silence.
right. Right.
And we're taking it for granted. See, the saddest part, you know what the saddest part is for me?
Hmm.
Is that what you said is it's not even shocking.
Yeah.
It's not, people are just not even, it's not like it's not clicking, man. It's like it's not clicking
Right.
to what's going on.
Right. It's unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna be the end of something like that. Similar to a lot of situations, I just think that we have to. It has to be to either to someone or to some level to where everybody is like a standstill. We seen it with the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. Everybody had to watch George Floyd for everybody to catch on, like, oh wow, the
Right.
world literally stopped. It had to be COVID. It had to be this perfect, this perfect combination for everything to come to that head at that particular point. That's why, that's what the post was really about. because, you know, I've had a lot of friends, a lot of happy friends who are some of the saddest people, you know.
Mm.
So it stood out to me because that's what I felt from the young lady when I seen, you know, everything was going on with her. I was just like, man, it's always those particular people that
Yes.
are trying to hold it together. And yeah, it's just really unfortunate. But I think that the era that we're in right now is that we're watching we're watching this generation become mindless zombies. You know, like everybody's walking around with the head down,
Hey,
not.
hold on just a second. I'm gonna add another one in here. We're gonna roll this thing tonight. As many people that can come, as many people that can come. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are definitely we're having this conversation. I told you before I invited you what it was about. This is the young man. He did a post on Facebook, and I reached out to him because it touched me. Um, and now we're just talking about that. We're just having a real table talk about this going on about suicide, and this is Suicide Awareness Month. And for me, it's stunning that you have to have an awareness month for suicide, which means are you really checking on folks? What he was just talking about, the simple fact is you got people that's holding these loads. We out here smiling in the public.
Thinking it.
Suffering in silence.
Yes.
Suffering in silence. That's key.
And a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
And I just thank God tonight he gave it to me. So this is what this is going to be about tonight. And may we reach somebody. May we sow some hope into somebody. May we, if that person is on the edge tonight, may we pull them back. May we give them something to say, just keep on. Don't give up.
Absolutely.
Don't give up. Man, for me, I say this. If you give up, you're going to be exactly where you at.
Right.
Absolutely. I suppose for myself, it's just that it's proven that it's always darkest before dawn. And every time you feel like you're not, you know, gonna make it, you know, I compare a lot of things to, like, you know, because I'm a life coach, and I compare a lot of things when I speak to a lot of student athletes and stuff like that to working out. And I was like, it's interesting that right before your last repetition of doing anything is when you feel the most pain, the most pressure. And when you push through that, that's when you actually get the strongest. Mentally, physically, it's proven that every time that you go past your limit and push yourself and prove that that's what you can actually handle, then it's easier in life. Now you know that you can do it. But I think a lot of people cut themselves a little bit short before they see themselves at that full potential.
Yes, yes, it is so true. It is so true. Look, I value coach. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna ignore you down there. Go ahead, ma'am.
It's just funny that you're talking about this because this is something that I've been seeing on social media a lot lately. One of the ladies that I follow on Instagram, her son committed suicide a couple weeks ago and showed no signs. A lot of people are walking around with mental illness, with depression, but with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there. I was walking around smiling, doing lives, in people's face, encouraging other people. And a lot of people encouraging other people are discouraged themselves.
Mm.
And so you sometimes we take for granted a smile when we can't see past that smile.
Yes.
And the next thing we know that somebody has done something to themselves and we didn't know, what happened. They were so happy. Why did they do this? And we have all the whys, the questions, but we need to start answering them now. And, it's sad, but a lot of people are so afraid to reach out because they're afraid of what people will say.
Yeah.
Her son was a teenager and he didn't think life was worth living anymore. Another guy had he was in the 6-figure followers. His last video, he was laughing and smiling and telling people how he wanted his casket. And people were looking at him and watching his video and laughing about it, but they didn't know that he was serious. And so when people are crying out, sometimes they cry out like that, and we take it as a joke, or they're just kidding. Oh, they'll get over it. And that's one thing that we need to stop saying too. They'll get over it. You'll be fine.
Right.
Are they really fine? And that's why we need to really get in depth to where people really are. And, you know, when I was in my situation a few years ago, I wasn't good at all in my mental state. I was depressed. I was angry. I was in a bad place. And so my out was some pills.
Mm.
And I tried to kill myself because I didn't think life was worth living anymore. And people, you know, some people are like, oh, that's just stupid. Or you know, you had so much to live for. But in that point in time, in that second, you don't think so. Because you feel like life is overtaking you. You feel smothered. You feel like you have no way out. And you're not thinking about anybody else but you. Thankfully, it didn't work. But there are people out here that are crying out for help that don't know how to get the help. And so we need more, you know, more people to come out and tell people this is how you get help. This is where you can go. Instead of, you know, there's so much negativity on
Yes.
social media, and it's so many times people are trying to be accepted in a fake generation because they're faking it on social media. And so therefore you feel bad about where you are. And so you feel bad that you're not where this person is, and they're not even really there.
Right. You compare your real.
You know, it's so much fakeness on social media, and then you're making people feel bad about where they are because they want to be famous too. They want to be popular too. No, nobody likes them at school. You know, they're being bullied at school. We got kids 9 and 10 that are hanging themselves. So, you know, we want all of it to stop, but how do we really stop it? Yes, we pray for each other, and that's one big thing that I do is pray for one another. But we also need to have outsourced resources for people. And my outsource was counseling. That is a taboo to a lot of Black people, but counseling works. Because when you can talk about it, I mean, really talk about it, it was like a relief for me. But who are some people going to talk to? Because a lot of times we're confiding in people that are really revealing what you talked about.
Yep.
And that makes the problem worse. If Donnie came to talk to me and it was something personal, it was something that he really needed to get off his chest, that he was hurting about, and he felt good about that after he got off that call, and we good. And then next day, Donnie hear that I done told 5 people what Donnie was going through.
Right.
Right.
That's just devastating and put you right back in that hole.
Right.
So who out there is really that person that we can really go to and know that nobody else will know? I'm a value coach. And there have been women that have confided in me dark things about their lives that they needed help with. I'm not out here on social media. I'm not out here on the phone telling, girl, you know, such and such going with these. I don't do that.
And that's, you know, and what you said is so that is it. We have to have these safe places that we can go and we can talk about these things. This society is hurting in so many different ways. I'm gonna say it again. This society is hurting in so many different ways, and we're the fact of the hurting, and then it's being masked. It's being masked by everything, but we're never dealing with what the issue is. All we deal with so many times, or these things that is not the true issue. We want to deal with, you know, but that's not the root of the problem. Nobody wants to get to the root of it and get that stuff out, because we lock away and we hide over here, and this stuff builds up. What you talked about, the depression builds up. We don't have anywhere to go. The anxiety, all these things. And then we think that, what do I do? Well,
Right.
nobody. Or what's that thing? Well, ain't nobody gonna miss me, no way.
Right. And some people think like that. And when you're talking about the root of the problem, that's where it is. That's where it lies. Because if you keep doing the surface,
Yes.
they're just going to carry it on and on and on. But when you get to the root of the thing, that's when you can cut it out. And sometimes that hurts.
Yes.
When you have to get to the root of a thing, that thing hurts. Because now you got to relive some things. And I had to relive some things. I had to rehearse some things that I wanted to forget. bury, and not want to see again. But in order for my healing to take place, I had to go back to the root, where this was really began. How did I even get here? Where did this come from? And so when I got to the root of it, that's when you got it out. And that's what I need to do.
And I so agree. I so agree. And you know, like I said, you know, for me, just hearing and it hit me. Like when I read his post today about, and this wasn't, I'm talking about young people. And I know it's happening to young people, old people. This thing is not just exclusively for one. This pain is out here in this world. And again, to have to recognize and say, oh, let's have Suicide Awareness Month. That should be a flag right there. We are losing people. We are losing people because they're deciding it's much easier for me to die and try to take my own life
than to
than
live.
live.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. If
That's
that,
what some people are. That's what some people are. And a lot of times, what we've seen within the last month, a man was so angry at his girlfriend, so angry at her, that he killed his children and him to get back at her. He wanted her to hurt so bad that he killed himself and their children. And people, when people do this, the innocent are hurting because of the one that's really hurting.
yes.
Now you're taking off on the innocent one. And that's why we need to get it now, because it's a mental thing. You know, we know in the Bible in Romans 12, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But how are they going to renew it if they don't know how?
Right.
And so we need to start teaching people. You know, I know psychologists out there. I know we have counselors out here. But where are the real true counselors? The true counselors. The ones that we can confide in. The ones that we are just a telephone call away. The ones that we know that will not discuss what we've gone through. Because I've heard people, you know, they call it a HIPAA violation or whatever. I've heard of a lot of HIPAA violations. And it's not fair to the person that confided in you.
Right.
It's not.
And that's so true. You know, we sit here and we run these things down. You know, I got my ride or die, my homie. I talk about this all the time. You know, the people that's rolling with us when things are beautiful and the flowers are blooming. But where are they when that old flower starts to die off in my life? And you can't turn to those people, and you can't turn there. My God, that's what's happening to people, is that we are not we're not distributing and showing love to one another, love and compassion.
It wins them, but we're not being real.
Yeah.
We're too busy. We're too much wanting likes and hearts and to be the next whatever. I'm only doing what God wants me to do. I'm not looking for how many followers I get, for how many hearts I get. And we put so much pressure on people to want that.
Yes.
And we're focusing on the wrong things. Social media has gotten out of hand and it's made people, especially children, feel like they are not important if they don't have followers, that they're not important if they don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. They're willing to do anything to get followers.
Yeah.
And then after it explodes on them, now they don't want to live anymore because they're putting themselves out there in a negative way. And we need to start teaching our children from 1 year old. I mean, if a 6-month-old baby can hold a phone, we can start teaching them. We need to start teaching our children what's really important.
Yes.
It's not those $200 tennis shoes. It's the heart issue. Check on your children. What are they thinking? Are you okay today? How was school today? Did anybody bully you? Make sure they're not bullying someone else.
Right.
Because a lot of kids feel lesser if they don't have those $200 shoes. And sometimes kids are make them feel like that too. They might have a $30 pair of shoes on. Oh, you just got those on. You know what that does to a child?
Right.
And so we need to start with our children and as adults.
Yes.
So, we need to come to a place where we don't have to have suicide awareness month. We need to do this every day. We need to check on each other every day, because a lot of times people don't come together until it is something tragic.
Yes. 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 That's it. That's it. You said it. You hit it right there. And that's so unfortunate. So unfortunate where we are is we get out of our cars, we go in our house, we lock our doors. It's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are. We don't. I came up in the country. You knew your neighbors. You waved at your neighbors. These
House across
things.
the field.
Yeah. We have moved so far away from being connected that we have
It's
become.
disconnect because everybody want to do this.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do this. You can see people sitting at tables and they're doing this.
Right.
They're sitting across from each other. So where is the connection? Where's the relation? It's a thing called relationship. We don't hardly have that anymore. We have something else other than that, because a true relationship, we ain't talking about that, is built on communication.
Yes.
And we need to start communicating with each other. Call somebody. If I call you to check on you, you text me back. That is like,
Right.
just answer the phone, because we just want to check on each other. See how each other is doing. If you know somebody's going through something, don't take it as okay, they're going through it, they'll get over it, whatever.
Right.
Check on them.
And it's so funny. And he said it when he was on here. Sometimes we get complacent about those people that we look at and we think that they're the strong ones. Oh, they don't need nothing. They're the strong ones. They strong. Well, I ain't check on them because they one of the strong ones. Well, I'm gonna sit up here and tell you the strong ones need to be checked on as well.
Right.
They're the ones that you see out here. Again, I say it. They may be smiling on the outside, but sometimes we are crumbling the pieces on the inside because we figure we have to hold it together for everybody else.
Right. And those are the ones that need it the most sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like Moses sometimes. They were winning a battle as long as his arms was up.
Right.
But that didn't mean that he was so weak. It just meant he was tired.
Yeah.
And God had two people to help him.
Right.
Sometimes you just need that help. But, sometimes, like I said, people don't want to cry out for the help because they're afraid of what people will say or think.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. I was telling somebody, I'm not talking about the old, people talk about the barbershop talk. No, that's not the place. A barbershop is where you chat. That's not where you have a conversation there. You might go in there, you might chat. But I'm talking about you having, as you're saying, having those people that you can turn to, those people that are there to assist you, to help you, not trying to pull you down, not whatever it is that you may be going through. They're just getting the information to go share to the next person. That is probably, and you said it, one of the most devastating things that a person could have is to go and confide in someone. And that very person that they confided in with their innermost, deepest hurt, they went out and shared it with others. And what that does is that makes people that sets them back even farther.
Mm-hmm.
That sets them back even farther. And no more are they going to reach out and try to share. They're just going to hurt in silence.
Right. And then you got people that reach out to you only to spread gossip about you.
Yeah.
And that hurts too. I had people when I was going through, when I went through, I had people to text me, "Are you okay?" or something like that. But I knew their motive. And sometimes people's motives are so wrong, but they make them right. They make them think that they're the right motive. And all they're doing is trying to get information to go out and spread gossip. And that doesn't help the person going through. If you're not going to call me to encourage me, if you're not going to call me to try to help me in some kind of way, you're going to be a hindrance
Yes.
to my healing. And I
Yes.
don't need you as a hindrance. And that's what a lot of people are, hindrances.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Like I said, this thing just it really it just took me back, just then going and reading and seeing how this is so widespread, and then knowing that we have young adults who have yet to experience their first prom, who've yet to experience so many things that this wonderful world has to offer,
High
that
school.
are taking their lives,
Yeah. And
that are taking their lives.
and it's not God's will.
Right.
It's
And
an
we're
attack.
missing it.
It's an attack on their mind. And you know, somebody said that the devil's playground is your mind. And you don't let your children stay in a room by themselves, just locked up in a room with a phone or a computer. That's what a lot of people do because they don't want to be bothered.
Right.
What are they looking at on their TV? What are they looking at on their phone? What is impressing in their minds? Because
Yes.
people don't understand, and they probably whatever, but they don't understand that there are spirits that come from this stuff, from the music. I don't allow certain music in this house when my G babies are here or not here, because I tell them, no, we're not listening to stuff like that, because that whole spirits and stuff like that will play in your child's mind.
Right.
You don't want them going to sleep with that or what they looked at or what they heard.
Right.
That has a lot to do with stuff too, but people don't understand that either, because they just want them out their hair. They in there with their game. They doing what they. Have you checked on them?
Right.
Have you checked their phone? Is there somebody saying something to them? So we need to check on them instead of have a relationship with your children and not just in a house with them.
Right. I so agree. I so agree. It is, and I don't know how I can hammer this in, just for me, just to hammer it home, is that this is real. What's going on? This is so real. It is so real. To hear, and it's not. Again, let me tell you, from what I see, it's not exclusively the one. It's not just young adults. It's not just older adults. It's not just middle-aged people. It's not just wealthy people. It's not just poor people. To hear about a man who had all of this, and you were talking about another guy on the social media guy, and to hear about a man who what was he, vice president of what, a company, and he jumps to his death. Come on,
Had
then we,
millions of dollars.
it's here. There's things that are going on, depression, this mental illness, all of this, and everything that's going on in the society that we are openly, and I will say this, that we're openly allowing to drive us to the point of thinking again, I would rather be dead. I would rather be dead.
Mm.
I mean, I just me, and I can't fathom. I would rather be dead than to live in this. That's got to be the most excruciating thing in the world, for something to be that excruciating that you would rather be dead.
Oh my God.
I would rather.
It's just so much going on. Somebody just sent me something just then that there's an active shooter shooting people in Memphis right now. And mindset, that mental. And I pray for those people now, whoever it is, the victims or whatever. We are living in a time that you can't even hardly talk to somebody. You can't even, go in a traffic and blow your horn. We need to watch ourselves too. Protect your mind.
Yes.
Protect your mental. Protect it, because we're living in those times, and we have to stay prayed up, and that's why we have to start. I love my family. I pray for my family daily. And if there's anything that I can do for any of my family members that I can do, I will do it, because I don't want to see anybody go down that road of darkness,
Right.
because it's a horrible place.
And you know, and I'll say this is that's real. Okay. Understand this, people, and man, just as there's light, there's darkness.
It's something after this, but people don't. Sometimes they just don't believe it. But it's something after that.
Um, I just encourage, I so encourage people to just keep pushing. Just
Hold on.
don't give up.
Just hold
Just
on.
yeah, yeah.
Just hold
And you
on.
know, I say it so much, and I say it from my personal experience. Is this is that weeping may endure for a night,
But joy comes in the morning.
but joy comes in the morning. It didn't say joy comes tomorrow morning. It
Mm-mm.
said
But
joy
it
comes in the morning.
but it comes. And
Yes.
I want to say this before you close out, that if it's somebody on here, or if you know somebody with mental illness, connect with someone that can help them. I know Tandra is a counselor, Tandra Turner. She is on Facebook. She's a counselor. If you want to reach out to me and inbox me, I'll be more than happy to talk to you. But I don't want you to think that you have to through this alone, because there are people that will help you. I think on here her name is T Turner, Tee Turner. Contact her. Don't go through this alone. I hope you don't mind, Tandra, but don't go through this alone.
Yes. And you know, and for me, I say this is what you just said, and I just piggyback on it. Don't go through this thing in silence no more. Don't hurt and put yourself in this closet and think that nobody cares. Reach out. Reach out. I don't know why, but I'm sitting here and it's almost like begging. Begging. If this begging can just save one,
Yeah.
just reach out. Reach out. Reach out. Reach out to someone. Reach out. Don't don't allow yourself to feel like it's not gonna matter, because you do matter.
Mm-hmm.
You matter. I you matter. I say it. I say it from my heart that you matter. You have a purpose that only you can fulfill. Only you. And I pray that this message is received. Um, and I thank you, and I hope y'all know, like, this was an unprecedented show. This was not even scheduled. I reached out to the wonderful value coach over there. I reached out to some other people to come because it was on my heart tonight, um, to try to reach some people, because this is real.
Yeah.
This is real. This is so real. Um, Suicide Awareness Month. Let's check on one another. As I've heard many posts and seen many posts, check on those strong friends. Check on them. Check on your neighbors. Understand this is that our hello, our good morning, our how are you doing could be the only one that person receives that day. That hello, that smile,
That hug.
that hug could be that very thing that made that one person reconsider taking their life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Is what I have to say is wow. Look, if you wanna say anything, whatever you want to say before I just have your way, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, I'm finished. I'm finished. This has been a great show.
Well, I thank you again. I thank you so very much for coming. I thank each and every one that has taken the time out to just tune in. I pray, and I know that it did, that this message shall fall upon good soil. I know that it will, and I know that it will take root. Um, and understand this from the Louisiana country boy. I love each and every one of you unconditionally, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you, ma'am. Y'all have a good one now. You hear? We out of here.